Hi, this is video lecture 2.3 on Charles II. As you guys saw with the death sentence of Charles II that we did in class, we know that Parliament severed the king's head from his body. But when they did that, they not only killed the king, Parliament actually removed the position of monarch from the government. And once Charles I was beheaded, he's no longer in power, Cromwell steps into power, and he rules as what we would refer to as a military dictator. Obviously, there was military rule. He was the head of the parliamentary army that defeated the king, so he stayed in power. He had strict social life, meaning he restricted theater and the arts and music, dancing. Those kinds of things were forbidden in public life. However, he also refused to rule as king. As you guys saw or read in the reading, that he refused several times. He said, no, that our government needs to set up a constitution, and that way Parliament, and if there is going to be a king, they can rule with the constitution. That idea kind of came from Cromwell. So Parliament's here, and Cromwell dies after about 6 years of ruling the country. Cromwell dies, and now here's Parliament trying to figure out what the heck are we going to do, right? What should we do? You know, we don't want another divine monarch for sure. We had that with Cromwell, sort of ironic. We had that with Charles I, sort of ironic. They fought Charles I to get rid of a sort of a dictator. They end up with, well, kind of a dictator with Cromwell. But ultimately he dies. So what are they going to do? They don't want another divine monarch. Hey, what about Charles I's son, little Charlie? What about him? Well, he's been kind of agitating here and there, but he's also been kind of keeping his own to his own, right? Minding his own business. What if we invite Charles, right, his son, little Charlie, what if we invite him back, but we tell him in order for him to come back, he has to agree to a limit of power. So ultimately, that's what Parliament decides. They're going to invite Charles back as a limited monarchy. Well, Charles agrees, and he becomes King Charles II. And some of the things that he agrees to is the Magna Carta, a very important document we'll look at in class. The Petition of Rights, he agrees to that. That's what his dad said, I agree to, and then ignored it to get money to fight his wars. Charles II said, I will agree to that. I'll abide by those restrictions to my power. He also agreed to restore the arts, those things that Cromwell had kicked out during his reign. And by him agreeing to be king, not only is he king, but he restores the position of monarchy that was cut off when Charles I died after the English Civil War. So that's your short video on Charles II, how we get from Charles I through Cromwell into King Charles II. You guys want to be in class tomorrow because we're going to be talking about the big burly toe. We'll see you then.